Hello, everyone. This is your girl Rita, also known as the Gold Digger. Hello to all of my gold diggers out there. I am coming to you with another video on today that I am very excited about, and it is talking about why you need targets in your business and how you should go about setting up targets for your business. All right, so when it comes to targets, what am I talking about? Probably some of you may have assumed I'm talking about target profits. And yes, I am, but this video is not just about target profits. Actually, we probably won't even get into target profits today, but it will be coming. But I'm talking about, what is your target market? What is your target client? What is your target service or product? What is your target sales amount? Then what is your target profit? And also, what is your target expense? Like, what are you trying to spend in your business? Like, you should have a target. Like, I'm not going over that. Your business should have a budget and things like that. So you should be like, hey, I'm not spending more than this in my business. And also, what is your target employee? So if you have a business where you do have to bring employees, or even if you are a small business or entrepreneur and it's just yourself, and as your business grows and you need others to assist you, you need to have a target employee in mind. These are just a few targets. You can have a target for just about anything, but those are just the few that I am going to cover. Now, you might be wondering, like, what is a target? Basically, all a target is a goal. Okay, I'm the gold digger, so of course I'm going to be talking to you about goals, of course, duh, right? So a target is a goal, but I know some people are like, I am so sick of goals, I'm so sick of making goals, I'm so tired of making goals, and I'm not achieving them, or things happen. And probably the way 2020 is set up, like, any goals that you might have written down, it's like they're already in the trash, because 2020 is on something on a whole nother level. So a lot of our goals have probably deviated a lot, but all a target is a goal. It's just a way for you to track your progress, to track something to completion, to see how you are at achieving something. It's just kind of like a guideline that gives you an idea of where you should be, and when it comes to certain things in your business. Okay, all right, so a target just gauges where you are in a timeline, and pretty much everything has a target. Like, if you really stop and think about it, everything has a target. Like, let's say, for example, pregnancy has a target. Like, you are supposed to be pregnant for 9 months or 40 weeks, or whatever that may be, and that is the target that you need to be able to carry the baby for. When you are in school, there's a target. Like, you are supposed to be in elementary, middle, and high school for a period of 12 years. So that is the target. If you go on to college, versus if it's a 4-year degree, 2-year degree, you have these targets, versus if it's a technical school, if you go to graduate school, all of these are targets. So pretty much everything has a target. A day is a target, a week is a target, a month is a target, a season is a target, a year is a target. Everything has a target, pretty much. And like I mentioned before, the target is just a guideline to see where you are, to see how you're progressing. So going back to the pregnancy example, or even the school example, but with the pregnancy, like, you don't want the baby to come too soon. They also don't want you to stay pregnant for too long, otherwise they induce labor. And same thing with school. You want to hopefully graduate and get your diploma or GED within the 12 years, if not sooner. So if you don't, it gives you a gauge or a guideline of where you are and where you should be. And it's just kind of outline, a guideline. So even though you may not stick to the target, it kind of helps you see where you should be in the process. And kind of like, I'll use an example. Like if you went to a gun range and you were shooting the target or whatever, like you have certain points that you want to hit, like the heart area, the head area, or whatever, and it shows you where you are on the target, where you close, where you far away. And if you're not where you want to be, you kind of self-correct yourself to try and see what can I do to get closer to my target or get closer to the area that I want to hit. And that's all you are doing in business when you're setting targets. You have this outline, you have this guideline of where you would like to be in a certain time frame, in a certain time period, or just by a certain achievement level. And then you gauge your progress on that, and you make adjustments accordingly. When you say, oh, I didn't quite meet my target, you adjust accordingly. You reevaluate. So a target is very important to have in business, and like I said, you can have targets in many different areas of business. Okay. All right, so let's jump into the types of targets that you should have. And I'm going to be referring to my notes so I can stay on point. So the first target that you should have is a target client. And I'm going to say this, this is the order I would kind of recommend for you, especially if you are a new business. If you already have an established business, you should still kind of follow this order, but you can, if you've already established and you didn't go into this order, you can always kind of look at it from the reverse side, reverse engineer it to see how you can tailor it. But if you are a new business, if you're thinking about getting into entrepreneurship or business ownership, the first thing I would recommend for you to do is to find your target client. Okay. And usually with that, you want to start general or broader and then get more specific when it comes to your target client. Okay. So when I say start in general, maybe you want to target new moms or working moms, or let's see, people who are interested in weight loss. So that is very general. But then you want to get more specific by looking at, okay, what is the gender of my target client? What is the race of my target client? What is the age? Age is very important when defining your target client. And those are the more specific things. And you can even get more specific than that by saying, okay, all right, I know the gender, I know the age, I know the race. And now I want to look at their educational level. I want to look at their income level, that kind of thing. You want to have a target in mind. And these classifications or these specificities are individual to you. So you can, your target client could also be like, it could be like somebody who is generous or does donations, or works with nonprofits, or just has, I don't know, disposable income, or someone who is low income or whatever. So you can make it more specific, but first you need to start broad, and then you need to narrow it down to something specific. Like when you think of what you are offering to someone, you should always have that target client in mind. You should be able to picture them in your head, know how they would interact, know like what kind of house they might live in, what kind of car they might drive, what kind of clothes they might wear, the kind of attitude they would have. Do they have children? Do they not have children? Are they single? Are they married? Are they divorced? That kind of thing. And all of that starts with your broader category. Like if you want to target divorced women or divorced men, that's the broad category, divorcees or whatever, and then you kind of narrow it down from there. Okay, so you should always have that target client in mind who you want to cater to. Now, why is that so important? The reason why is because you can't be everything to everybody. Okay, so when someone does not fit that description of your target client, and I won't say they're not happy with your services, then you can let them go. Or that you don't need to waste your time because they're not your target. Okay, they're not your target, so you don't want to waste your time with someone who's not even your ideal client. So even in my business, like there are sometimes where you may encounter someone who just is not a good fit for your business. And when that happens, I don't really lose sleep over it if it doesn't work out, like if we're not a good fit or whatever. um because they weren't even my target client or to begin with. So it's like, oh well. And that's not to discriminate against anyone or whatever, but you should always have your target clients in mind so you'll know what you're looking for, because you can't be everything to everybody. And sometimes that in itself, it seems so simplistic, but it can be a difficult lesson to learn, especially when you want everybody to benefit from your services. Like, oh, everybody could use X, Y, and Z, or whatever you might be offering or whatever you might be selling. But you have to realize it's not for everybody. It's not going to be for everybody. Everybody is not going to like it. Everybody is not going to care for it or want to spend their money on it. Even though and that does not diminish from you as a business owner or entrepreneur, and it does not diminish from your product. Okay. Like, there are tons of products I probably would, like to have, and things like that, or that are good products, but I don't want them because they are not for me. Okay. Like, I can't think of anything offhand. Well, yes, I can. So I don't really like heels. I don't wear any high heels hardly or anything like that. And that's not to say that a high heel is not cute and, fashionable and everything, but it's not for me. You won't find me spending money on a high heel. Okay. So any company or stilettos or whatever, they wouldn't market to me because I'm not their target client. I'm not someone who is going to be likely to purchase from them, and therefore there's no need for them to waste their energy on me, because I'm just not their client. So that is why it's important to have a target client in mind. Okay. Also, why I say too, if you checked out my previous video, and if you have not, where it talks about like business coaching, that is also why if you choose to use a business coach, you need to try and find one who doesn't, depending on what you're looking for, who doesn't claim that they cater to any and everybody. Okay. And you will have to check out the video to get more specifics on that, because there are some caveats with that. But always beware of business coaches who say they cater to everybody, because everybody cannot possibly be their target client. All right, so that was target number one. Next target is your target market. So now that you know who your target client is, you want to develop your target market. And basically all it is where do these people hang out? So you want to go where they go so that you can target them. So you want to know their geographical location, their demographic, especially if you have a brick and mortar business. You want to know the state, the city, the town, even sometimes down to the zip code. And you want to know where these people hang out, and you want to set up your establishment in a place that is likely a likely place for your target client to visit. Now, if your business is online or it doesn't have a specific geographical location, your target market is you still need to go where they are. And so you need to know what kind of platforms that they hang out on, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever it is. I don't know what other platforms are available, Pinterest or whatever. You want to know, are they more likely to hang out on Pinterest? Are they more likely to hang out on Instagram? Are they more likely to hang out on Facebook? And if so, you need to go there, as well as certain websites and things like that they might cater to you. Wherever your target client is, that's where you need to go, so that you are more likely to interact with them, and they will be attracted to your product. So going back to your target client, like if you are catering to new parents or new moms, and your service or your product is something that new parents or new moms can benefit from, you're probably not going to go to a community, or you're not going to market to a community that has people, 50 and up, like a senior living community or something like that. And vice versa. Like if your product caters to seniors or retirees or something like that, you shouldn't target to an area or a demographic where there's just a lot of new families, or young families there, because it's less likely for you to see your target market there. So you always want to go where your target market is likely to be, so that you can appeal to them. All right. And the last thing we are going to cover, because I don't want this video to be too long, is your target product and service. So now that you know your target client, now you know where they hang out, and you have your target market, then you can develop your target product or your target service, okay? And you really should have, you shouldn't, the same thing going back to, you can't be everything to everybody. You shouldn't try to be offering everything to everybody either. Like you can't be, well, I'm not saying you can't, because I don't want to limit anybody, but you don't want to try to be the Walmart to everybody. You want to have a niche. You want to have a specialty. You want to have something that people are drawn to you specifically for. And then you want to cultivate that area, get it so good, so phenomenal, and then branch out into something else once you know that this is stellar. You don't want to have a whole bunch of mediocre products or mediocre services. It's better to be known for doing outstanding service, outstanding products in one area, and then to be mediocre in a vast majority of areas. Now, especially during these times, is you don't want to put your eggs all in one basket, but depending, if you can market and develop your product or your service correctly, you can have different categories and subspecialties within that one main specialty or one main product that you offer. Okay, so you want to develop your target product and your target service. Now, this is another mistake that people often make, and I have made it myself. When you develop your target product or service, you want to give people what they want, not what they need. And I'm going to say that again because I said it right. You want to give people what they want, not what they need. Because nobody wants to hear that they need something or whatever, because when you talk to people and even when you're in are like, you need to do so and so and so and so, nobody wants to do that. And that's not saying you're going to approach them like that, but nobody wants to hear what they need. People are more receptive to what they want, and you have to figure out what their wants are. And whatever your product is, it should be meeting their need, but you have to present it as something that they want. A good example of this is like weight loss. Anything that is involved in the weight loss field or fitness journey or in things like that, weight loss. If you look at those commercials, any commercial about weight loss or advertisement about weight loss, they don't say get our product because you need to lose weight. They show like before and after pictures. They show people in these like nice outfits and having fun and smiling and being able to drink wine or whatever and doing all this stuff. They are selling an experience, and they are selling an emotion and a feeling. And that's what you have to do with your target product or service. You have to start thinking about, what does my product and service generate for someone? Like when somebody gets this, what am I creating for them, or what pain points am I eliminating? Like with the weight loss or whatever, you say, oh, you have more free time, you can do all this kind of stuff. You show them the things that they want based off of them getting your product or your service and you meeting their need. But you should not tell them what they need. You should only show them what they want and eventually give them what they need through that. But telling them what they need, they're not going, I promise you, they are not going to hear that. Another example is in dentistry, or people who are orthodontists and people who have to wear braces or whatever. Braces are expensive. Okay, I have braces or whatever. Braces are expensive. You, it's not so much that your child needs braces, but it's really more so the parent doesn't want their child looking like the snaggletooth monster or whatever. Okay, you are catering to their emotion, that pain point, that attractiveness. Everybody wants to look good or beautiful or handsome or whatever. So you are catering to that want. Yeah, they need braces because their teeth might look like a picket fence or whatever, but you're not gonna say, yeah, you need it. You're catering to, oh, you show them a nice bright smile, that kind of thing. You don't say, yeah, these teeth are crooked or whatever, or even though they might be, you are catering to that emotion that they are perceiving when their teeth are straight. So always cater to that, cater to their emotion, cater to their experience, and cater to the end product the end result that your product is going to bring them. So if your product or service is going to bring them joy, going to make things easier for them, that kind of thing, and that's what they want, then you have to speak to those things so that they are more likely to get your product. All right, so I think I have went over everything. So we covered the first thing we covered in choosing your targets. We went over the importance of you having a target, why you need to have targets in your business. And then we talked about choosing your target client. Then we talked about choosing your target market. And lastly, we talked about choosing your target product or service. Okay. So in the next video, I will cover the other targets, which is choosing a target employee, as well as how to go about doing your target profits, or as well as your target sales and your target expenses. So that'll be in another video, so look out for that. And like I said before too, I want to make sure I'm covering everything. I'm not a business coach or anything, but I always want to encourage you. I don't want to just be your cheerleader. I'm hoping that the advice that I'm giving you is compelling you to take action in your business, or if you're thinking about opening a business or starting off as an entrepreneur. I'm hoping that these videos will compel you to do so and feel more comfortable with doing so. So today I'm challenging you to take action, determine what your target client is, what your target market is, and what your target product and service is. And if you're already established, like say you already offer something, a product or service or whatever, reverse engineer it and be like, okay, this is my service. Who is my target client? Where do I need to go? Where's my target market to make sure that my product or my service is getting out to the people who would benefit from it. Okay, so that is my call to action for you today. If you do so, I would love for you to share in the comment section what your targets are. Also, if you look in the description box, I'm also going to be posting my email. So if you want to share privately, you can do so that way. Or if you have any questions for me, you can email me any questions that you may have, and I will be looking out for that and be happy to answer any questions for you. All right, but that is all I have for today. And like I said, coming soon will be the second part 2 of why it's important to have targets in your business and how to go about choosing them. All right, so this is your girl Rita, the Goal Digger, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, everyone. Bye.